Hey everybody, this is Julie
And I'm Matt.
from Southern Pride Design. And today we're going to be doing a 1-year review on our DTF printer. It is a Digital Heat FX DTF 24H2 from Coldesi. They are here in Central Florida. We purchased it right in Tampa, did a demo, they were awesome, and we fell in love with the machine and we had to add it to our shop.
One of the questions we get asked all the time is how much do our machines cost? Well, our DTF printer cost us $23,995. We went with the option to get the blower because in our setup here, we couldn't set up an exhaust. So we did get the blower. The blower was $2,900. I would recommend it. The only con that comes with the blower and that we were not told about is that there's huge cardboard filters in there that cost about $400 to replace.
Every 3 months.
I was gonna say that.
Sorry.
They have to be replaced every 3 months. So that's an added expense every 3 months. $400 just to replace the filters. So if you do have the option to set up the exhaust, get an exhaust system in here, I would definitely do that versus buying the blower.
So for the last year that we've had this machine, we have noticed that there are a lot of pros with having this. We also do screen printing in our business. We do vinyl lettering, things like that. And with the DTF, the capability for smaller orders or faster turnaround time has been extremely helpful. It is much faster to print the DTF on here than to set up 1 screen, 2 screen, 5 screens, get them all burnt, set up, lined up for an order. So I highly recommend it if you're screen printing and you want to supplement or make orders go faster. This has been a lifesaver for us.
After having a DTF, screen printing sucks.
Yes, but we have a lot of clients that still prefer screen printing, so we still offer that. But if they don't have a preference, the DTF is the way to go. And with us, the quality is very comparable. I don't know the difference. Unless you really look at your product, there's not a whole lot of difference that they last. We have shirts that we've washed 30, 40, 50 times that we wear every day, and we've not had any of the lettering come off, no fading or anything like that. And it'd be the same way with the screen print. If you don't cure a shirt properly, you're gonna have those issues, but if you do your job properly, you're not gonna have the fading or the ink coming off or anything like that. So I think it's very comparable with the screen printing.
I think so.
Yes, yeah. And another thing is, like, we do a lot of sports, mom shirts that got their name and number on the back. So if I can set up a game sheet on the DTF that has the name and the number already lined up, and I can just have it print, and it prints the whole team cut out, they can just get pressed. We used to do that with vinyl, and we cut it out on the vinyl cutter, and you have to weed each letter, and if anybody's done that, they know how tedious and annoying that is. Well, this eliminates that, and you can just go and press, and it's made that process 100 times more enjoyable. I used to stop offering that service. That's the word. Yes, service, because of that.
Get it off camera. All right, the fun part, the cons. What are the cons to this machine? If you don't have this thing lined up right, it's gonna smear your jobs. They're gonna get scratched. They're gonna look like crap. Your head's gonna hit the paper and it's gonna shut down the machine, and you're gonna have to go and realign everything back up. Also, the paper in the back has to be lined up perfectly. Sand for this machine gets everywhere. No matter how you try and keep the sand in the machine, it winds up all over the floor and stuff. So that's one of the cons. I mean, you lose a little bit of money because of that, but not that big of a deal, I don't think. But for the most part, that would be the only thing I would have to say negative about this machine. As far as all the other machines, like embroidery machines, I want to take a hammer to every day. This machine, not so much. It's actually enjoyable to, go in the back and press shirts and not have to worry about screen printing anymore. The humidity. Humidity is a big thing too. If you don't have your humidity right in the building, you will have problems with your print. Some of your prints will just stay on the paper. They won't adhere to the shirt. So just remember that you got to have the humidity right. You got to have the dryers right. You got to make sure all the dryers are on, because if not, what you'll do is in between the fine print of like your small lettering and stuff like that, you'll get clumps of the glue. I call it sand, but you'll get clumps of the glue in between there, and you will see it transfer onto the shirt. Now, sometimes how you can avoid that is just repressing the shirt for a longer period of time, and it'll basically, I would say, evaporate that glue from the shirt. But there's other cases where it won't do that, and your whole shirt is ruined. But those are very small and minor things. Once you have it all worked out and figured out and dialed in, it's going to be a good machine for you.
Yeah, once you tweak that stuff out and you figure out the quirks to it, your building, your equipment, then you don't have a lot of those issues. But it's just like any machine, you know, every once in a while you have to just tweak.
Yeah,
you always got to maintenance. You always got to be maintaining them, watching them, and, you know, keeping them happy. They're your babies.
Yeah, always learning as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Because every single machine has its own little finicky thing to it. So
Yes.
once you figure that out, you get it dialed in, you know, it's like a
Well-oiled machine.
yeah, there you go. Some crap like that.
We purchased this machine from Coldesi. They're in Tampa, Clearwater. We went down and did a demo. But when we purchased the machine, they sent us an email with full training from the moment our boxes arrived with our machine in it to setting up every last little detail in the computer for our prints and everything like that. So I think that was amazing, because when we got these giant crates in, we had no idea how we were going to get the machines out of the crates. So, but there was a demo and how to set up every little bit of this machine. So they made it really foolproof.
Take a hammer and you knock the shit out of the wood and it comes apart.
Yeah, well, there's, you know, there's more to it. But their customer service has been great. You could send in a ticket and explain what's going on with the machine. They get back to you in a day or two and tell you, like, hey, this is what you should try. When we were having an issue with the little lettering, with the extra adhesive being on it, they said, you know, turn on this heater. It's probably your paper's got too much humidity and moisture in it. So we turned on another heater, it dried it up, and the problem was solved. So, you know, they've been great with that.
Is this machine worth it? I would say yes, hands down. This is one of my favorite machines when it comes to it running itself and having minimal issues, unlike embroidery machines, which I hate. So this machine, if you're looking to upgrade your business, have shorter turnaround times, this is the machine to get. If you want to take on those smaller jobs, this is the machine to get. It will help you out in so many ways, and the quality of this has been amazing. Like, that's one of the things that we get told all the time. Like, people don't even realize that, you know, DTF, they say it feels just like a screen printed shirt. So they really don't know the difference between it, because I've shown them a screen printed shirt and a DTF shirt. And my honest opinion, the screen printed shirts don't hold up as well as the DTF, because, you know, when you go to the store and you buy a nice colorful shirt, you take it home, you wash it that one day, and you take it out of the dryer and the color's gone. You know, it's faded. This does not fade, and it's been amazing for our business.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yes. And if you're looking to buy a direct-to-film machine, Coldesi has a bunch of different options. If you're not looking for something this big, this is what they call the two-head machine. So it has a color head and a white head. So it prints the color and then prints the white at the same exact time. They have one that's also just, it has one head and it prints one, and then the other, which is a little bit slower. It doesn't have as fast of a print time as this one. Then they also have a four-head, which does even more and it's bigger than this one. So they have different options. And they also have just individual printers that you can buy that print single sheet DTF, which then you have to do the powder and the UV separate to dry it. But they're all different options for whatever works for your business.
And on that note, one thing that sucks is these heads only have warranties for 6 months. So, and what we were told is that you normally have to replace these heads once a year, and they're about $1,500 a head.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind too. That's the only thing that I hated about it, because I brought it up down there when we were doing the demo,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked them about that, and they said, well, basically, nobody really warranties heads. And I was like, well, I know Roland gives you at least a year warranty on the heads, but they only do 6 months, so keep that in mind, and you got to replace the heads every year.
If you take care of them and do your maintenance, make sure that you're doing your daily cleanings of the machine. It does require a little bit of work in the morning. I clean it every day before I start using it. You clean the whole head in the area. They tell you exactly what to do in the tutorials, but make sure you do that every day. Don't skimp on it. Those are the things that will cause your head to go bad, and you can extend the life of it by taking proper care of it.
Well, we hope you can. Yeah. But just keep that in mind. If you sit down and you have a yearly fixed budget, factor that cost in if you're buying this machine, and also factor in the cost of those filters of $400 every 3 months.
Yes, because they get really, really gross, and I wouldn't want the dirty, I don't want that in the air that you're breathing, because if it's going in there and it looks that nasty, I don't want it out here where we're breathing it in. So if we could have eventually
Exhaust.
have exhaust outside, I would highly recommend that. If you have that option. Unfortunately, we have to keep it inside the building because of the humidity and temperature requirements, or we would have it in the bathroom. But
And how we found out about the filters is we came in one day and there was like this oil substance
yeah,
all over the floor. We thought we, were having a major issue with one of our machines, and it was just oil. I call it oil dripping
Probably
out of the blower. Yeah, all the nasty
with
stuff that's
residue.
in there.
Yeah.
So, who
And
knows?
maybe they told us about it, but we didn't.
No.
We missed it, so
No.
I don't remember hearing about it.
Mm.
Another thing is supplies for this machine. Luckily, we're in Florida and we're not that far from the warehouse, so we order something and then we get it next day. The paper from this machine is about $229 if you're buying one roll at a time. We use the G series, which is a hot peel, and we absolutely love it. We started using that one, and it has been amazing. Like, you can just, press, peel it, do your other press, and you're good to go. So it makes our production time very fast.
Yeah, because we were using one paper in the beginning that they said was a hot peel. It wasn't a hot peel. You went to go rip that thing off, and it ripped up half your design.
Yeah, so it was definitely a cold peel.
Every time we did that. Yeah. So I went out and I bought a blower. If you're having that issue, a little handheld blower, cool it off real quick, and then you can peel it right off. No issues.
So it's just your personal preference, but the hot peel I feel is the way to go. It's very nice, and it makes your production time a lot faster. So you're not waiting. You don't have to take your shirt, cool it, and then while you're going to start working on something else, that shirt's done and out of the way. And then the ink for the machine, the colored inks last a long time. I mean, we print a lot. They're $45 for, I think it's a 1.5 liter bottle. You'll have to get one. And then the white is a little bit more. It's about $60, $65 for the white. That one you do replace a lot. White, you go through a lot of white because it puts a white backing on every single thing we print unless you tell it not to. If you're putting it on a white shirt, you don't need that, but we do a lot of color shirts, so we usually opt to have the white background. Plus, make sure color's a little more vibrant. And then your powder, you're going to get a bag of powder, about $20 for a bag of powder. It does last a pretty long time. Luckily, it all is like a self-contained unit. The powder goes in here, it goes down, and then you have a catch that you can recycle it and put it back in here. So it does go a long way, and it doesn't get wasted, the stuff that falls back into your machine.
Thank you for watching, guys. We're going to do a more in-depth video If you like this video, please like, share it, subscribe. It greatly helps us out for us to do the next video. Take care.
Catch you on the next one. Thank you.